We are happy that after 3 days of closure, we reopened the Church of the Holy Sepulcher to be able to welcome the pilgrims who come here from all over the world.
I pellegrini che da tutto il mondo vengono qui.
The small church Dominus Flevit on the Mount of Olives hosted the first phase of the Lenten pilgrimages organized by the Franciscans of the Holy Land.
The small church Dominus Flevit on the Mount of Olives hosted the first phase of the Lenten pilgrimages organized by the Franciscans of the Holy Land.
On the initiative of ACN, Aid to the Church in Need, on Saturday, February 24, the Colosseum in Rome and 2 churches in Aleppo and Mosul turned red in memory of the blood shed by Christians in the world.
The first phase of the renovation of the Terra School of Jerusalem has begun. The project is the result of collaboration between the European Union and the Custody of the Holy Land.
The first Stringed Instrument Festival took place at the Music School of the Custody of the Holy Land.
After 3 days of closure, the Church of the Holy Sepulcher reopens. The opening took place on Wednesday, February 28th at 4 a.m. as normally happens. Inside the Basilica, the representatives of 3 communities in charge of the Holy Sepulcher were awaiting the happy event.
Certo che siamo molto contenti che...
I am very happy that they decided to reopen the door. Our daily life has been normal during these days. We celebrated all the liturgies even within the closed doors. We officiated even at night. It was very quiet. I cannot remember ever celebrating in silence, but thank God we can now welcome the pilgrims.
Abbiamo pregato tutte le nostre preghiere.
Ma grazie a Dio che adesso possiamo accogliere tutti i pellegrini.
The first groups arrived at the first light of dawn. Certainly it was sad to see the church without pilgrims, but seeing joyful people coming in reminds us of the joy of the resurrection.
We came on Sunday to come, and yesterday the doors were closed, people were outside praying, the gate was up, and just very disappointed we couldn't come in. So very grateful that they put the, committee is going to talk about it, and they opened the doors today.
Thank God, all our prayers were answered. Thank goodness.
The doors of the Basilica of the Holy Sepulcher were closed on the morning of Sunday, February 25th. It was a protest carried out by 3 communities in charge of the Basilica: the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate, the Custody of the Holy Land, and the Armenian Patriarchate. The protest was against the latest bill proposed by the Israeli government on church property, as well as the recent tax measure hypothesized by the municipality of Jerusalem. On the afternoon of February 27th, the Israeli Prime Minister's office issued an official statement that government chief Benjamin Netanyahu and Jerusalem Mayor Nir Barkat will set up a technical commission to negotiate with representatives of the churches. The same evening, the churches responded with a new statement. We, the leaders of the churches in charge of the Holy Sepulcher and the status quo that governed the different Christian holy places in Jerusalem, thank God for the statement issued today by Prime Minister Netanyahu. We express our gratitude to all those who work tirelessly. to support the Christian presence in Jerusalem and to defend the status quo. Following these recent developments, we announced that the Church of the Holy Sepulcher, which is the site of the crucifixion of our Lord and also of his resurrection, will be reopened to the pilgrims.
È con gioia che dopo 3 giorni...
We are happy that after 3 days of closure, we reopened the Church of the Holy Sepulcher to be able to welcome the pilgrims who come here from all over the world. The reopening brought us great joy.
La riapertura per noi è una fonte di grande gioia. Il momento più difficile è stato proprio quello in cui dovevamo decidere che tipo di iniziativa prendere.
The most difficult moment was when we had to decide for the right initiative to make our voices heard on the 2 issues that we have at heart: the discriminating bill that was going to undermine the right of ownership of the church, and the initiative of the local municipality that was aimed at disrupting the status quo on the one hand, but on the other hand it was going to undermine our economic ability, which allows us to be at the service of the local small Christian community.
Interrompere lo status quo da un lato, ma dall'altro andava ad intaccare la nostra capacità anche economica di essere a servizio della piccola comunità cristiana locale. Quindi è stato difficile.
Our decision to make our voice heard was not an easy one.
Come far udire la nostra voce. Alla fine abbiamo concordato con il patriarca di Gerusalemme Teophilos.
In the end, we agreed with the Orthodox Patriarch of Jerusalem, Theophilos, and with the Armenian Patriarch Manuhian and his representatives on this unusual initiative, the closure of the Holy Sepulcher. We did hope it would be a short-term closure.
Del Santo Sepolcro, e noi speravamo che fosse una chiusura a brevissimo termine. Però una volta presa la decisione l'abbiamo sostenuta insieme, e come abbiamo deciso insieme il momento della chiusura e insieme lo abbiamo annunciato qui su questa
Once we made the decision, we all supported it. Then together we decided to close the Holy Sepulcher, and together we announced it here in this square, in front of the door of the church. As soon as the Prime Minister announced his important resolution to set up a committee that would allow dialogue and suspension of these two hostile initiatives, we agreed on both the reopening time at this morning at 4 and on the declaration we made public yesterday evening.
Abbiamo concordato sia l'orario di riapertura, questa mattina alle 4, e sia anche la dichiarazione che abbiamo reso pubblica già ieri sera. In realtà direi che questa...
In fact, I could say that this initiative has revealed a profound unity not only among the three communities that are in charge of the Holy Sepulchre, but also unity among the other ecclesial communities present here in Jerusalem.
Tutte le altre chiese hanno espresso vicinanza e solidarietà e unità.
All the other churches expressed closeness, solidarity, and unity with us, and I must say that this is very positive. I also want to remark that we appreciate the solid cooperation that the local Christian community offered us. They understood that this was not a matter of defending the economic interests of this or that church, but it was about protecting the life of the Christian community here in Jerusalem.
Tutelare la vita della comunità cristiana qui a Gerusalemme. Così anche molte persone da
We have
tutte le
received
parti.
messages from all over the world, and needless to say, some were even a little critical. But I have to say, in most cases, the notes expressed closeness, understanding, solidarity, and even prayer.
La vicinanza, la comprensione, la solidarietà e anche la preghiera. Adesso dobbiamo chiaramente aspettare di poter incontrare
Now we must wait to meet the minister and to be able to set up a dialogue with him.
insieme con lui anche vedere come impostare questo tipo di dialogo. Personalmente sono fiducioso, sono sempre molto favorevole.
I personally am confident and always very supportive of dialogue. By nature, and also because of my Christian and Franciscan spirituality, I do not like quarreling. I much prefer to be able to dialogue and be able to describe the significance of our small Christian community here.
Per far comprendere anche quelle che sono le ragioni della nostra piccola comunità cristiana qui presente.
The small church, Dominus Flevit, from the Latin, the Lord cried, marks the place where Jesus shed his tears for Jerusalem.
Siamo qui al Dominus Flevit, che è un posto significativo soprattutto perché
We are here at the Dominus Flevit, which is a significant place, especially because it is the place where Jesus sees for the first time, before the Passion, the extraordinary landscape of the city of Jerusalem and breaks out in a weeping that leaves us speechless. It is the cry of disappointment for a city that has remained closed, and this closure represents our
forse la
hearts.
chiusura di ciascuno di noi.
Lui ha detto io sono Dio. Allora,
He said, I am God. This is why so many have stood against Jesus, and this is why he came here to weep, because they did not welcome him. He said, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how often I have longed to gather your children together, as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, and you would not let me. Behold, your house is left to you,
la
desolate.
tua casa non rimarrà.
The liturgical pilgrimage began here. The Franciscans, together with local Christians and pilgrims, traveled through the holy places linked to the Passion of Christ.
Prima dell'ingresso trionfale in Gerusalemme,
Before the triumphal entry into Jerusalem, Jesus already had the premonition that what was about to happen in Jerusalem was exactly his end. Actually, He knew very well that the end was near, as he had already announced it to his disciples. He had the courage to begin all the events that would inexorably lead him toward his death and therefore also toward his resurrection.
This tradition has existed for centuries in Jerusalem and is perpetuated in the name of the Church of the whole world. Every year, a preacher is chosen to conduct the reflections of this event. This year, Father Luigi Maria Epicoco was the priest chosen for this mission. His homily was an invitation to look at the biblical passage that narrates the episode of the weeping of Jesus as a fact linked to the present time. He invited everyone to let themselves be deeply touched by the word and to ask the Lord, "Why are you crying?" And what makes Jesus suffer in our days?
Quello che vediamo intorno a noi nella cronaca
What we see around us and what we learn from the news from the Middle East and from the entire world is social injustice. We see the pain of the innocent, we see things going wrong, but we must remember that Jesus came to the world to save us, to save this contradictory logic of a freedom that can destroy instead of being an opportunity for salvation.
di una libertà che può distruggere, invece un'occasione di salvezza.
È vero che oggi sentiamo solo
It is true that in these times we only hear news of wars and wickedness, but good exists alongside us and in our midst. We need to open our eyes and see it, though through these blessings Jesus is calling
questo
us.
bene, Gesù ci sta chiamando.
Dei omnipotenti, Patris et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti, descendat super vos et maniat semper.
Monuments lit up in red to rip the veil of indifference off the international community on the persecutions of Christians in the world. It is the initiative proposed by ACN, Aid to the Church in Need, a pontifical foundation created in 1947 to support the Church in the world, especially where the Church is persecuted. This is how Saturday, February 24th, three symbolic places, the Colosseum in Rome, the Church of St. Paul in Mosul in Iraq, and the Maronite Cathedral of St. Elijah in Aleppo, Syria, simultaneously turned red in memory of bloodshed by Christian martyrs. We want to tell the whole world that we insist on overcoming evil with good and hatred with love, insisted the Maronite Archbishop of Aleppo, Monsignor Joseph Tobshi. Signs of hope came from Mosul, where Father Yalal Yaakov, together with a few Muslims, testified their closeness. Together with numerous religious authorities, the relatives of Asia Bibi, a Catholic Pakistani who was imprisoned for 10 years and sentenced to death for blasphemy, and the family of Rebecca Boutros, one of the Christian women kidnapped by Boko Haram in Nigeria, were also present in Rome. According to the 28th report of the Portes Ouvertes NGO from the beginning of November 2016 to the end of October 2017, over 215 million Christians have suffered persecution, becoming the most oppressed community in the world. There is still a lot of work to do to conclude the first phase of the restoration of the Terra school in the Old City of Jerusalem.
This project started in January 2017, and it will last 3 years. Its objective is to renovate and to restructure the school, and God willing, to set up new facilities for the next 3 years. In addition to the renovation work, the project aims to contribute to the development of skills for teachers and students.
Even the children are getting ready for the big day. Currently, we are setting up a scientific exhibition at the school, and we are getting ready to receive our guests. As you can see, we have a section for cells and other things, one for chemistry and one for math and physics. And here's the biology section. I am Mohammed Salama, and he is my colleague Mahmoud Abu Kados. We will carry out an experiment to filter the dirty water in order to obtain clear water that will be useful for irrigation. The authorities who attended the inauguration were the Custos of the Holy Land, Father Francesco Patton, the Italian Consul General in Jerusalem, Fabio Sokolovic, and representatives of the Ministry of Education.
We built an entrance that offers teachers a place to meet parents and students. We also completed the renovation of the library. We created a technology lab, a resource room, and a children education center. We were also able to make improvements to the theater and to the first floor.
In addition to enjoying the scientific exhibition, those present had the opportunity to take part in cultural and artistic activities and to take a tour of the restored environments. Obviously, restoration work is important, but the most important thing is the collaboration between teachers and students in the preparation of this great project. I believe they managed to offer something beautiful to this holy city, Jerusalem, in which we find ourselves experiencing difficulties and challenges on a daily basis.
From February 23 to February 25 at the Magnificat Institute in Jerusalem, violas, violins, cellos, and guitars came to life for the first edition of the String Festival, the Stringed Instruments Festival. All of the students of the music school were invited to the event that was dedicated to the study and celebration of stringed instruments. Developed by a project of a musician friar, Brother Armando Pierucci, the institute came to life after a decision of the Custody of the Holy Land in 1995, thanks to the collaboration of the Music Conservatory of Vicenza in Italy. Currently, about 200 students and 28 teachers of different origins and confessions are part of this project.
The main objective of the festival is to encourage students to train and play stringed instruments such as the violin, the viola, the cello, and the guitar. These students need encouragement because these are difficult instruments that require serious training and practice.
انه يعزفوا ويضلوا يعزفوا ويتشجعوا بالعزف لانه آلات صعبة ودائما بدها تشجيع.
The festival started with a musical marathon by the String Instruments Department on the first day, followed by Saturday's music workshop focused on violin making and Baroque music.
أول وحدة كانت عن تعريف.
The first lesson was on instruments from the 16th and 17th centuries, some of which are still in use. In the second workshop, the violin maker explained to the students the method of making a violin and gave him historical indications about the origin of the violin and its most famous makers.
كان في صانع violin.
The festival ended with a final concert on Sunday 25th, the delivery of the certificates of participation, and the festival, Farewell Till Next Edition, also took place.
Sono arrivato da poco, da appena un mese qui. Questo servizio qui a Magnificat ed è una bellissima realtà, che...
I have not been here long. This is a beautiful reality that unites different religions, Christians, Muslims, and Jews. It is an expression of musical language, a unitive language because music encourages unity. I say that as a musician, I do not play music, but instead I play with music. They should play with music because music is a game.
Quindi la musica in questo aiuta. Io uso una parola da musicista, io non suono, gioco con la musica e loro devono giocare con la musica è gioco.